the Matthew Stafford extension. Now, this was agreed 2 months ago, but the details finally emerged. And at the risk of having everybody out there's eyes glaze over, I will take you through them. Now, he already got a $4 million roster bonus in March, so that money is already earned. And now he'll be set to make $40 million in each of the next 2 years. $16 million in each year is in base salary, and then another $24 million in each year will come in a series of option bonuses. There are 4 of them in each year at $6 million apiece. Again, don't need to bore you on the details there. Really, what you need to know there is it allows the Rams some flexibility in how they fit the deal to their salary cap. The important piece is that the money for this year is fully guaranteed. The money for next year will become fully guaranteed if he's on the roster on the 5th day of the league year, which of course is in the middle of March. Now, what does this mean for the Rams going forward? Well, they are very much still in a year-to-year place with their franchise quarterback, Matthew Stafford, but it does reflect the bet that the Rams made when they allowed for Matthew Stafford to go out in February and March and explore the market, because there were deals out there for more money. The Raiders, the Giants, were willing to pay Matthew Stafford more than $50 million a year over the next 2 years to get him in addition to whatever trade compensation they would have had to give the Rams. The Rams, as they were going through this, believed that Matthew Stafford's desire to play in Los Angeles and to remain in Southern California, where he and his 4 children and his wife are rooted now, and his desire to play for Sean McVay would override the idea of getting maybe the final bite of the financial apple that he'll have as a professional athlete at the highest level he could possibly get it. But this also reflects that the Rams are being fair, because it is a lot more money. And I think the deal that you can compare this to, really the only deal you can compare this to, is the deal they did for Aaron Donald 3 years ago when the Rams won the Super Bowl. The reason this one is similar is because it's rare that a team will give a player a raise without getting something in return in the form of years of control on the back end of the contract. This is not an extension that Matthew Stafford is doing. What Aaron Donald did in 2022 is not an extension either. It was a $40 million raise. He had $55 million left over the 3 years remaining on his contract at the time. The Rams jacked that number up to $95 million. It's a tough precedent to set, but this was for a very, very special player, once in a lifetime type of defensive player for the Rams, so they were willing to do it. So that set the stage for Matthew Stafford to want something similar. In this case, he does get that. Depending on how you want to look at the deal, again, if we include the $4 million, he'll get $84 million over the next 2 years. So that's $42 million per year. What he had left on his contract previously was $58 million over the 2 years. So this is $26 million more than he was on schedule to make. That's over $13 million. That's $13 million per year in a raise. And so I think this is a good reflection of the relationship between Matthew Stafford and the Rams, and a good middle ground to strike, where you aren't going as far as the Raiders or Giants were to acquire a new player, but you are being fair to your quarterback and giving him a chance to get closer to what he's worth, while maintaining everything that he loves about living in San Francisco, in Southern California, and playing for Sean McVay.